Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play God of War, where we just left the witch's hut, aka Freyja's hut, because it is indeed Freyja, the Vanir goddess, and well, she was able to revive Mimir's head, so I guess he's going to accompany us now. And we actually need to go back to the temple of Tyr now, and technically we have to use the horn. But like I said, I think I'm going to take a break from the main mission, and I will try to do some other stuff.
Here.
Yes, Father.
I have some things in mind that we might be able to do today. Now he's suddenly here. I think Atreus can teleport. But yeah, I have some ideas of what we could do before we continue with the main mission. But either way, I have to return to the Lake of Nine. So I'm going to use the portal. And I will travel back to Brock's shop. Alright. Here we go. Confirm. And right, we have to travel Yggdrasil again.
So, Mimir, why did Freyja spin your face?
No. Speak of Baldur. He claims nothing harms him.
Aye, Baldur is blessed with invulnerability to all threats, physical or magical.
Boasting of a god. Everyone has a weakness.
Not him, I'm afraid. Baldur is blessed with invulnerability to all threats, physical or magical.
You just said that, Mimir.
Did I?
What is the source of this power?
Well, as I recall, it involved, a spell?
Mimir?
Parts of my brain must still be coming back to life. Just need a moment to finish waking up.
Yeah,
Hope he's
that's
not
kind of
broken.
weird. I'm not sure if he's broken, but I think he might be under some kind of spell that prevents him from talking about it, or that kind of erased his memory. I mean, it was kind of weird how he was repeating that one phrase again. So I feel that maybe he once knew Baldur's vulnerability, but somehow he got reprogrammed, and now he doesn't. So it's probably the mistletoe, just like in the original myth. And I'm guessing that Freyja probably knows about it as well, and that's why she destroyed our mistletoe arrows. But yeah, I haven't
I
really
think this is something.
looked at the Yggdrasil all that much. I mean, not sure if we can see anything of interest around here. Just marvel at the place itself. I actually have an Yggdrasil hanging on my wall. It's well, not a wood carving, it's a resin cast of a wood carving, but it has like a wood finish, so it does kind of look like a wood carving. And I bought it like, I don't know, 10 years ago when I moved into this apartment, and it's like really great. It's made by the very amazing artist Paul Border, aka Dryad Design, who's creating a lot of Germanic mythology, Celtic mythology, and other mythology-themed artworks. And it has a lot of detail. It's not just a tree, but you can see like Odin in the middle, and there's like the three Norns standing at the tree. And I'm pretty sure Mimir's head is on it as well. And you have like Nidhogg, the dragon, who's eating the roots of a tree at the bottom. And there's like an eagle on top, whose name I forgot. And there's a squirrel called Ratatosk, which is delivering insults between the dragon and the eagle. So it's a very nice piece. Maybe I will take a few photos and post them on my Twitter, just because I can. You should follow me on Twitter, by the way, and you will find the link in the description of every video. But yeah, let's leave this place again.
How do we speak to the serpent?
There's a horn on a platform at the middle point of the bridge. Take me to it.
Finally, that horn.
Well, I'm afraid the horn will have to wait because I have some other stuff planned for today. Anyway, can we talk to you again, Brock?
Oh, Almost forgot. Brock, this is our new friend Mimir.
We've met.
Oh, why didn't you say so?
He knows why. I know why. You know why.
Quiet. No more of this.
Know what? Sorry I brought it up.
I mean, Kratos is easily annoyed, is he not?
Can't you and Sindri just patch things up? Whatever happened couldn't be all that bad. You're family.
Now don't be lecturing me about family. I ain't the one what forgot what our name stood for. What we made, the weapons we made were legendary across 9 realms for more years than I can count. You just don't throw that away on account of one bad...
One bet?
One bad what?
You one bad nothing. Ain't you got somewhere to be?
Well, now you got me curious. But I mean, in a sense, you're currently working on a weapon together. That is, Kratos' axe. Taking turns, improving it. You're going to make this very, very legendary, I'm sure. But okay, I guess that's all we can talk about at the moment. So, let's leave the temple. Okay, so here's what I had in mind. I mean, first of all, we have that one quest about Fafnir's storeroom. And then I thought, well, I mean, I could try to, you know, revisit some of the places I've been to and use our new arrows to, you know, get some stuff I couldn't get the first time. But I didn't really want to, you know, explore the whole lake again just to find these places. But then I realized I don't have to, because I have it all on video. I can just, you know, watch my old episode and see if there's any place in particular where I want to go, where I can use like the light arrow or the electricity arrow. And I found like one place that seems promising to revisit, and it's this one over here, Stone Falls. It had one of the red sap stuff, so I'm going to this place in particular. And I also might be able to find some treasures. I'm pretty sure I know where this one is. And I'm pretty sure I know where this one is. I mean, at least I remember I've been to these places. I will just have to find them on the map again. I think most of them were actually down here. Like, this could be one of them. Iron Cove. And one was on an island, so probably this one over here. Isle of Death. Yeah, one of them was on the Isle of Death. So I guess I will first go over here and try to pick up the treasures. And then I'll go back to Stone Falls, because I might be able to use my lightning arrows to achieve something over here. Either way, I'm going to need a boat. I guess we can take this one over here. Ooh, have I not been down here?
Want to see what we can trade those for?
Apparently I have not been down here. But we have complete set. Oh, well, look at that. We can make use of our new arrows here, apparently. Okay. Yeah, I definitely have not been down here. Okay, this is just some hex silver, and this is apparently a dead end. I mean, I can see some wobbly stuff over there, but it's probably one of the glowing orbs that I don't really know what to do with. So, instead, let's grab the boat. Now, let's see. Where do we want to go first? I mean, I'm kind of on the wrong side now, because I wanted to go over here first. Well, I'm just going to go around it. I do believe that the Island of Death definitely has one of the treasures, and the other one might be over here. So that's my first objective. And I'm going to edit this a little bit unless Kratos and Atreus start talking. I will be including that.
Mimir, you never did tell me why Freyja spit in your face.
Well, she blames me in large measure for her present circumstances, and not totally without reason. It all goes back to the long war between the Aesir and Vanir. Prior to that, wars for the Aesir were easily won, but the Vanir had proved their equal and exacted devastating damage. Both sides suffered tremendous losses, and for many of us, quite frankly, war was simply no fun anymore, but a rather senseless waste of precious life. Wouldn't you agree, brother? Precisely. Enough was enough. And at last, Odin's most brilliant advisor became determined to find a more enlightened path. He set about to broker a peace between the gods. It took some convincing, but ultimately Odin was persuaded to marry his deadliest enemy, a certain Vanir goddess, legendary not only for her fertile beauty, but her genius at the very Vanir magic that Odin had long aspired to master.
Freyja married Odin?
Oh.
What was in it for her?
It was a sacrifice to protect her people, a selfless act of love. Truly, she deserves better than she got. But of course, there's more to that story.
Well, I mean, having Freyja as Odin's wife is, well, kinda unusual, because typically the one that is mentioned as Odin's wife is Frigg. We've actually read about her in like the last episode. She was mentioned in that one prayer, specifically mentioned as Baldur's mother. To be fair, Odin did have children with other women. So Frigg, for example, was Baldur's mother, but not Thor's mother. Thor's mother is the earth goddess Jord or Fjorgen, and this might be like some ancient echo of the old Indo-European Sky Father, Earth Mother couple, and presumably the thunder god Perquonos as their son. And while Odin is not the original Sky Father, he did take over some of his roles and attributes, so that's maybe how he became Thor's father and the consort of the Earth goddess. As a matter of fact, the name Fjorgen is etymologically related to the name Perquonos of the thunder god. Doesn't sound like it, but the Indo-European P turned into an F in the Germanic languages. I mean, compare that to Pater versus English father or German Vater, so you can see the change. But either way, while Odin had numerous mistresses, consorts, whatever, it's usually Frigg who's mentioned as his wife. And the ancient Germanic people were generally monogamous, so they only had like one wife. However, it was also common, especially for like powerful people, to have mistresses, so it would make sense that Odin had some as well. However, Freyja is typically not listed among Odin's consorts or mistresses or whatever. However, you can make an argument in this regard by saying that there is some evidence for the theory that at some point in earlier times, Frigg and Freyja were actually the same person, the same goddess. So when we go back to like Roman times or migration period times, there probably only was one goddess, and that was Frigg. She's the one that Friday is named after, not as you might suspect Freyja. And the Germanic people basically adopted this from the Latin calendar, where the Friday was the day of Venus. So apparently back then Frigg was, the goddess of love and fertility. And we don't really have any attestation for Freyja at that time. So it's possible that at that time Frigg and Freyja were kind of like one. And in the Viking Age, they kind of split into two separate personas, with Frigg being more like the matron, the goddess of home and hearth, kind of like the Roman Juno or Greek Hera, whereas Freyja would represent more like the classical goddess of love and fertility, like Venus. So while they probably were separate personas in the Viking Age mythology. They may have been one person in earlier times. As a matter of fact, the husband that is mentioned for Freyja in Norse mythology is called Odr, which is a word that is etymologically related to the name Odin. So there's some argument to be made here that at some point in the past, Freyja may have been Odin's wife, because she and Frigg were basically one person. Of course, that brings up a different question. Frigg was specifically mentioned in the previous episode as Baldur's mother. So, does this mean that Freyja and Frigg both exist in this world and are somehow both Odin's wives? Or is Frigg and Freyja actually one person in this game? In which case Freyja would actually be Baldur's mother, right? And that would explain why she wanted to hide away the mistletoe arrows, because she has to know that the mistletoes can kill Baldur, since, I mean, she is the one who basically made him invulnerable by making every living thing promise that, they wouldn't harm Baldur. And every, being, every creature, everything had to swear not to harm him. But they forgot about the mistletoe, because the mistletoe is so, nondescript and seemingly non-threatening. So that's why the mistletoe can actually harm Baldur.
I can't believe Odin and Freyja were ever married.
Enough. No stories. Not while on foot. Our focus is the road.
Completely understand. I'll finish later, lad.
Well, I wasn't aware that you were about to start a new story when I pressed the E button. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where one of our treasures is. Specifically somewhere up here. Uh-huh.
Got it!
Lapter alloy, legendary, lightning-infused metal used by the kin of Thor. Used to upgrade pommels with shock damage effects. Found in treasure map caches. Alright. And there we go. We finished this map. This is still unreachable. And I'm pretty sure I have done everything else I can do around here. Or was there like something on top of this that required an arrow? Nope. I mean, I'm still sure that these ropes will have a function. And down here we have like a place that looks like, one of these climb down, climb up markings, but it's only going into the water, so there's definitely something going on here, but I guess for now we will leave this behind and try to find the next treasure. So I hope you're going to start whatever story you wanted to tell again, because I kinda interrupted you. I should maybe mark this on my map. I do believe it's this one. Oh, this did properly mark though. There we go.
I can't believe Odin and Freyja were ever married.
Love and hate are more closely intertwined than you might imagine. For instance, Odin hates the giants and they him. But Thor's own mother was the giantess Fjorgun, one of Odin's great loves.
So Thor's half god and half giant? Weird.
Once Fjorgun was gone, lonely ages passed for Odin. And as war with the Vanir raged, I could see what he really wanted beneath his bluster. And after no small amount of convincing, Freyja agreed. For a while there, he really turned on the charm. He seemed happy. He seemed interested in making her happy. He granted her so many wishes I can scarcely recall them all. The peace held, and I truly believed all had worked out better than I could have planned. But Odin's true face showed itself again in the end. Oh, he won Freyja's trust, and she taught him some of her Vanir magic, another choice she would live to bitterly regret. Sadly, despite his wise counsellors' best efforts to persuade him that peace was the only true path to stave off Ragnarok, Odin never let go of his obsession with Jotunheim. The taste of Vanir magic led him to new forms of experimentation and new levels of depravity.
Okay. I mean, didn't I just mention Fjorgen, Thor's mother? Anyway, let's see. This is not the place I'm thinking of. It's the one with a giant lying somewhere in a little cove. So this might be a little bit more difficult to find.
Okay. Obviously the marriage to Odin didn't last. But how did Freyja end up a hermit in the woods?
Oh, that was a singular piece of cruelty, even for Odin. As if the marriage wasn't punishment enough. Freyja was better to him than he deserved. She stuck it out through all manner of indignity, all in the name of maintaining peace and safety for her people. But Odin's madness, his tyranny, his corruption of her magics, it became more than she could stomach, and at long last she broke it off. Odin's wrath was fierce, and his curses upon her were more than she dared to fear.
But her magic was so much stronger than his.
After so much time together, he knew her vulnerabilities and exploited them to craft curses she could never break.
Oh, like not being able to leave Midgard.
Worse still, he robbed her of her warrior spirit. Freyja cannot fight, even to defend herself. No living thing may she harm by blade nor spell. In a world this belligerent, what choice does she have but isolation?
Poor Freyja. I guess if I was her, I'd spit in your face too.
Aye, lad. So would I.
Well, that's interesting. So, Freyja can't fight. Anyway, I think I found the place again. Yep. Here's the giant. And here's the treasure.
Found it!
Oblivion Stone, legendary, a stone that hungers for energy and absorbs it on contact. Coveted and hoarded by dwarves, used to upgrade pommels with life-draining damage effects. Found in treasure map caches. Okay, so this is more stuff for a pommel. And apparently a health crystal that I left behind the last time, but I still don't need it. Okay, these are the treasures that I could identify just from looking at the picture. But I think for now I'm going to move on to Stone Falls because I think I might be able to use my lightning arrows in that place.
I see some loot up there. This is where the tower to Jotunheim should be. Feels strange somehow.
No doubt some arcane magics were involved. I would be not at all surprised to learn you were sensitive to that.
Yeah, something is clearly going on with Atreus. I'm hearing voices and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, we definitely have some red stuff over here. But I believe I have to land
I've
the
never
boat
seen a
here.
waterfall so big.
Are you going to tell a story? Should I wait before I land the boat? Okay, apparently no story. Now, let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a number of things here that I still left unfinished. Right, especially the sap over there. How did I get there? I think I have to lower the gate And then I can open this one over here, right? Oh! Well, there's definitely something going on over there. Like a spirit, but how do I get there? Is there a way for me to lower that bridge that I haven't seen yet? I mean, this doesn't help me because it's closing this gate as well. Ah, look at that. Okay. Yes, I have not seen that last time I was here. And now we can get over here.
Come and face me, God of Thunder!
I ain't the God of Thunder. Who are you?
Your challenges mean nothing to the gods, Spirit. They do not listen.
Do not mock my pursuit of vengeance. Though my family devoted their lives to worshipping Thor, I've devoted mine to his downfall. And I will start with that statue looming over my father's grave.
Unlikely. You are dead.
Is there something we can do?
For a reward, of course.
If you bring down the statue, you have my blessing to loot my father's grave. He rests on an island to the east.
Okay. Well, apparently that is
Why do
another
you hate
quest.
Thor so much?
After my father passed, my mother built the statue to watch over his grave. Imagine our surprise when the God of Thunder himself came to offer condolences. At first we were thrilled, but he quickly took advantage of our hospitality. My mother begged him to leave, and Thor, in his drunken rage, killed her. I was left with nothing but grief. Eventually I lost that as well, and found only rage in its place.
I'm so sorry.
Come, boy. We have a statue to destroy.
Well, suddenly Kratos is all on board with doing favors for spirits. As long as we can, get back at the gods, right? Okay, there's something going on here. Can you please shoot the crystal? Well, that doesn't do anything at all. Okay, but we can open this gate now. And go back here. Well, I mean, I had some hopes about the red stuff, but I'm not really seeing what I'm supposed to do here. I mean, clearly we have some more sap over here, but I need a crystal if I want to destroy this.
My father's grave lies on an island to the east. Do not mistake my mother's statue of Thor with that monstrous eyesore to the south.
I don't know. Is there the danger that I might mistake them? Do they look any similar? That would be unfortunate. I mean, we have this over here, so let's see what this is doing. Oh, it's opening the gate.
Oh yeah, that's the answer.
What answer? Yeah, I do believe that the water is still too high. I mean, if we look at this, there's a chain, but again, it's going nowhere. So I believe at some point the water will go down even further, so we can make use of this over here. And maybe then this will actually do something. But hey, we found a gate.
I cannot rest while my mother's murderer stands above my father's grave.
It's okay, I'll take care of it. I've just spent a while playing Assassin's Creed destroying statues of gods, so I guess I can do this here as well.
The one whose mom was killed by Thor? What about him?
Let his story be a reminder. The lives of men mean nothing to the gods.
I know, Father.
You know. But do you listen?
Yes.
Good.
he's not going to get any more receptive of your teachings if you annoy him too much with it. He's already starting to get tired
Mimir,
of it.
there was a shrine about a giant lady with lots of books and visions.
Ah, that would be Groa, the Knowledge Keeper. She was a gifted sorceress who gathered every tome of arcane wisdom she could find in the realms, all in the hopes of augmenting her powers of prophecy that she might find her lost husband, Aurvandil. But it was not her husband she would glimpse in her visions, for it was Groa, seeing longer and farther than any before or since, who witnessed Ragnarok, the end and the beginning. When Odin caught word of her ultimate prophecy, he maneuvered to obtain her knowledge and hoard it for himself. Groa knew Odin as a long-time patron of her services, and so she welcomed him into her library as a friend. What she did not know is that Odin himself was behind her husband's disappearance, having used his enchantments to conceal his death at Thor's hands from her sight. Smiling, jealous Odin took her by the throat, and with his very hands he stole her library and her life for his own.
I always knew Odin was bad. But that shit.
Groa, a giant sorceress and a powerful seer. Slain by Odin did he steal her book of visions. Called the Knowledge Keeper, Groa was the first to have a vision of Ragnarok. She trusted Odin as a friend. Bad idea.
Ruthless, barbaric, heartless? That's Odin. In fact, we would do well to sit here in silence for the next few moments and reflect on Odin's capacity for cruelty.
Okay.
And so...
Reflect longer.
As a matter of fact, in regards to Groa, when we saw her shrine, I wasn't quite sure about her character and her story, so I actually looked it up afterwards. And, well, it's not really anything like this. This story has been changed dramatically as well. So the story as it happened in, well, our world anyway, is that Groa is actually connected to the story of Hrungnir, which is another shrine we've seen earlier. And after the fight with Hrungnir, Thor had like a piece of stone in his head. So they're called Groa, who may not even have been a giantess. At least I couldn't find any evidence that she was supposed to be a giantess. But she was just like a vulva, a woman practicing Saedra. So they called her in to remove the stone from Thor's head. And while she was doing that, Thor started telling a story to her about her husband, Aurvandil. And the story was about how Thor saved his life when they crossed the river. And he kind of had to cut off his toe because it was frostbitten. And then he threw his toe into the sky where it became the morning star. It's kind of weird. But the name Aurvandil translates to Dawnbringer, so it has some connection with the morning star, apparently. And anyway, he told Groa that story of how he saved her husband and that the husband is on his way home. And apparently that made Groa very happy, but then she became distracted by it and her spell failed, so she couldn't remove that piece of stone from Thor's head. So it's still there, apparently. And yeah, that's it. There's no story about a magic book, no story about Odin killing her, no story about Thor killing her husband. As a matter of fact, it's just the opposite. Apparently Thor saved her husband. So this story isn't just slightly modified, it's like completely changed, like 180 degrees. So yeah, some of these stories are really, really, really different.
I have a question. If Ymir was the first giant, where did he come from?
In the beginning, there was Ginnungagop, the Great Void. There were no realms yet, only primordial forces. There was fire, and there was ice, and there in the void they met and produced...
Water?
More than water. The mystic lifeblood of something entirely new. From this water, Ymir took form and became a being of pure creation and chaos, mother and father to all that came after.
Even the Aesir?
Aye. Every god, man, and beast came first from Mimir's flesh. Though it was the Aesir who thought themselves so superior that they should hold dominion over the rest of creation. It was Odin who took arms against his creator and spilled Mimir's lifeblood with his spear. A necessary evil, he would say, to bring order to the realms. From Ymir's torn flesh, Odin would fashion the realm of Midgard for his own. Called himself All-Father, as if he was the creator and not the creator's destroyer. A small, covetous tyrant.
Mimir?
Huh? Oh, sorry, my boy. I think it best we just end it there, actually.
Oh, Mimir, my friend, is this how it's going to be? Will I have to fact-check your stories for the rest of this game? I mean, I have told this story already, and you can see how they changed it. Basically, they completely omitted Buri, the Aesir ancestor. Now it's only Ymir. And, I mean, I get it. This is not supposed to be like a, correct and faithful retelling of the Norse mythology. As a matter of fact, I think what they're trying to go for here, at least that's my impression, is kind of a premise that these legends from Norse mythology, they're kind of like one account of these events told from the perspective of the Aesir, and now we're kind of seeing these stories from a different perspective, that is the perspective of the Jötnar. And as it turns out, all of these stories were completely fake, because the Aesir just made them up to make themselves look good, and this is what really happened. And, in this version of events, the Jötnar are the good ones, and the Aesir are the evil ones. So I can kind of understand what they're going for here. And I can see how this could be an interesting path to explore for a story. However, I'm also a little bit worried that they're going to strip away all complexity and all ambiguity from the original source material. Because if you look at the original, then it's not really such an obvious case of good versus evil. I mean, there's elements of it, but the Aesir are not exactly portrayed as shining examples of virtue in these stories. And the Jötnar are not all a race of irredeemable evil either. There's a lot of room for, gray zones and complexity and ambiguity. And I'm not really seeing a lot of gray zones in this version of the story. The Jötnar are the good ones, they're peaceful, they never harm anyone, and the Aesir are just absolutely terrible. As a matter of fact, whenever they drastically change one of these stories, it's specifically done with a purpose to make the Aesir, in particular Odin, look as evil as possible. And I mean, I kind of get it. You need to have villains for your game, I suppose. But, even villains can be multidimensional. And currently, they're really not. So it seems a little bit simplistic, I would say. But then again, I mean, there's still a lot more game to go. So I'm not going to make a final judgment on this until I've actually finished the game. However, until then, I will continue to complement Mimir's stories by telling you the stories as they are in our reality, I suppose.
You want to be cheer?
Well, I guess I may as well. It is in the vague direction of the place I need to go. And, well, Brock's already here. Because of course he is.
Boy, over here.
Veithurgard. Southern outposts of the Dwarven King. Dwarven King? Have you ever heard of a Dwarven King?
No.
I'd heard rumours of a powerful dwarf ruling over some poor sods not far from here.
Let me have a look at the inscriptions first, and then we will continue to listen to Brock. Nothing remains of Veithurgard except the ruins of Motsnognir's cruelty. The once fertile soil is barren, soaked with the blood of both hunters and the hunted. It was the noble dwarf king himself who demanded the bloodshed. He who conscripted the gentle farmers of these lands into an army of ill-equipped hunters. He whose thirst for savage beasts produced a legion of widows. The castle still stands for foolish enough to scavenge, wherein dwells the deadliest of his quarry. Let caution guide you. Yikes, that doesn't sound like a very nice place. Father will probably want to visit anyways to look for useful resources. He's gotten a little predictable, but I'm still having fun seeing new places with him.
Not that you asked me.
Yeah, I believe Motsnoknir was like, I'm not sure if he was the first dwarf, but he was like the most powerful dwarf. So I guess it would make him like a dwarf king.
Hey, Brock, you ever hear of a dwarf king?
I suppose you're talking about Motsignir? Some bitch ruled over the humans once lived in this area. Built itself a castle just north of here.
A dwarven castle? What's it like?
You got yourself a pair of eyes and legs, ain't you? Might want to stock up before you head that way, though. Old Motsignir's known for collecting all manner of killerin creatures.
Oh, great.
Not sure who's looking after 'em now.
So there's going to be a lot of dangerous creatures on our way.
Let's do it.
However, I'm not sure if I really need to craft anything at the moment. I mean, I can upgrade my pommel maybe with some of the stuff that I just found. Let's see. I mean, this is the one I'm currently using. Successful X kills grant a health burst. Okay, but apparently I can't use the items I just found. I just have to use World Serpent Scale Fragments. So maybe I'm going to
Next time, I guess.
ignore this for now. Well, at some point I will certainly return and going to make use of your services. But okay, let's explore this a little bit. I mean, this is kinda where I have to go for the statue, right? Oh great, we already have some enemies waiting for us here. Alright. Oh, but they're only level 2. I've seen much worse than that until now, by now.
How was that?
You have potential, boy.
I'll take it. There's enough health crystals to go around. Okay, got a door over here. But we also have like a little tunnel. Let's start with a door. Right. Chest. And now we will check
What
out the
happened to these
tunnel.
people?
Follow the clues.
Okay. Well, scorch marks. They're all grouped together. So maybe they were hiding from some kind of fire breather.
A fire breather.
But they died anyways.
Okay. Oh, look at that. We got more wolves. Yep, I can see you. Alright. That seems to be all. And more for you to read.
Boy,
Curse the Dwarf King, bane of mankind. Sounds like he wasn't a very good king. I wonder why they hated him so much.
they are dead now. Does it matter?
That is not an explanation. An unbreakable chain. Otter has escaped his blind yet again. Instead of flying off this time, he seeks revenge on his captors and is determined to turn Veithurgard to ash. We seek shelter in the outlying caves where we found sanctuary in the past. Our king assures us his next chain will be unbreakable. If anyone can build an unbreakable chain, it's Mortsognir, architect of the great stronghold of Konungsgard, leader of glory's new age in Veithurgard. All hail the dwarf king, protector of men. These people seem a little friendlier, for all the good it did them. Yeah, apparently not everyone hated this king.
Matter.
No, I'm just curious.
Curiosity is dangerous, boy. Stay focused.
Yeah, I have noticed that Kratos is very, very uncurious about everything. Anyway, I think I'm actually going to end the episode here. We have more stuff to read over there, but that can wait for the next episode. Didn't really get much stuff done because I was talking too much about mythology, and I had to correct or at least complement Mimir's stories a little bit. But yeah, let's make a cut here, and we will continue in the next episode. I wonder if that's the statue I'm supposed to destroy. Doesn't look like Thor though, it doesn't have a hammer, so maybe not. But yeah, let's call it a day as always. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.